So, welcome to the Inspire Semester 5 visit here to the Ballyhoura region in Ireland. We're joined by our partners from across the European region.
Ballyhoura Development is one of the project partners, are delighted to be the host of this Semester 5 visit. We approached the Interreg Inspire project as one that could support us in our policy instrument change and looking at ways that we could learn from our partners to apply best practice and how we can improve our policy instrument. And our policy instrument is SICAP, the Social Inclusion, Community and Activation Programme, which we deliver in the Cork lot and the Limerick lot. And maybe from the beginning, we were very conscious of that digital divide that happens for our communities here in a rural area in Southern Ireland. And really with the Social Inclusion Programme, it's about supporting communities and it's about supporting individuals. So at this point we've been successful in addressing the changes in our policy instrument to look at actions that we can deliver with communities, with individuals in terms of decreasing that digital divide. Nicola has attended all of the partner meetings to this point and has been bringing back all of that great learning. Yeah. So Nicola, what did you think of all the visits so far and how that helped us to change our policy instrument and bring learnings to what we do here?
We've been on 4 visits so far, starting off with the kick-off meeting in Poland, south of Armagh region. Here in the Ballyhoura region, we focus very much on a bottom-up, community-led approach, and we bring in other agencies and stakeholders then to support the changes that we would like to see happen in support of the needs that have been identified in the area. In the European partner areas, including Poland, it's a localised government system. What I found really interesting within that system that they have is a youth council elected, and they work towards their initiatives and submit them to the local government to progress. And you also have a senior council, and there are 2 areas within the Ballyhoura region, in particular the youth focus, that we would like to learn more about. So it was great, it was really, really interesting to see that part of it. Then if we were to move on to Germany, local government led, a combination of a research institute partner as well as a local action group, the Lag for Land Dil Wetzlar. My most striking example from there would have been the community fire station, where they brought together 3 individual rural fire stations and built one huge centre where all 3 fire stations operate out of. But within that area then it's also a community building, a community resource, and they provide training from the age of 7 up until I think it's maybe 18 or 19 in different groups of future firefighters for the area. So they're future-proofing their organisation at a very early stage. If we move then on to Cantabria in Spain, they have very similar rural issues in their mountainous region, albeit their climate is different. It is a mountainous region, you have different ownership rights and territories, and then managing that landscape from a production point of view, but also to ensure that the environment is protected going forward. So what they've done is they've gone right back to basics, and they've brought a herd of a specific breed of cattle, but also a breed of goats to come to manage the landscape to make it less susceptible to obviously fire outbreak there in a very hot country. So that was very interesting from that perspective. And the last region that I visited was Tokaj in Hungary, which is a main wine producing area within Hungary, but also in the rural areas, looking at a decline in population. And then to counteract that, you have massive industrial precision engineering company who are at a global and multinational level within a very small rural community, and they are bringing people back who would have originally lived in the area, went to college, found jobs, and now they're coming back because they have employment, which feeds into the development of the local community there. Across all 4 areas, very similar to the Ballyhoura region, is a huge pride in community history and heritage and maintaining those links.
And that leads us on to some of the best practices that we're looking at here on the Irish visit in semester 5. So we're looking at community ownership and those community models of community spaces. So we take the food units and looking at food production and that community ownership of a challenge and responding with this solution, and how that fosters so much links between employment, economic diversity and that of tourism. We also visited St. George's Arts and Cultural Centre in Mitchelstown, again ownership by the community, filling that void from a cultural perspective in Mitchelstown, but also protecting and being custodians of this beautiful building for the future.
And the multi-pronged
level of funding
yeah,
that we use in Ireland and in community to support these spaces and these places. We also looked at the Ireland-Canada Homecoming of 2025, but more so that diaspora engagement using digital techniques. And we'll also be looking at a really interesting piece of work that was done in relation to the Destination Experience Development Plan for Ballyhoura, which was a digital needs assessment. So we now know from a community tourism and an SME specific space in tourism what our digital level is, and in that regard we have a 40% digital maturity rating against a 50% European average. So we have a starting point, and that approach, working with agencies, working with our stakeholders, working with our businesses and our communities, means that we are this sort of link in the chain of connecting agency and statutory agency to local community, and actually having a starting block now to work on in the years ahead. So the project overall, you know, we had one mission, but now we have multiples, and we can see through all the learnings and everything that we're learning and everything that people are learning together, all these different things that we can mobilise within Inspire and within Smart Village and within those concepts.
And tomorrow I think we're welcoming the opportunity to give quite an explicit example of that Smart Village approach on the bedrock of what we do, which is community-led participative planning, which will be very strongly illustrated within Kildare. We plan to do a walking tour of the area, looking at the different buildings, funding streams and community groups coming together to achieve a common goal of a place they would like to live in. And these are all fantastic areas of work that are happening within the communities, but we have identified a gap, Amanda, around this issue with sustainability for community groups. They can struggle when it comes to things like funding applications or in putting themselves forward in the best light. And what we feel may be of help for that is locating and storing the documents that they would need for a funding application within a cloud online storage platform. So that's part of the change we would hope to initiate, or an action out of the change in the PI.
Because we can talk about people succession within these groups, but actually digital succession is a real challenge as well now. So that's another, as you say, another opportunity within the action that we hope to take through from our policy improvement changes. So thank you for visiting Ballyhoura. We were delighted that you got to experience some of our day-to-day life and some of our projects, and see you again soon.